My name is Linda Horisk. I'm the Assistant Dean for Admissions, and on my right is Dr. Jennie Park-Taylor, who is the Program Coordinator. So what we're going to be doing today is talking with you about the program and about some of the experiences that our students have from the time.
So hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Jennie Park-Taylor and I'm the coordinator for the school counseling program. Welcome and thank you so much for your interest in Fordham. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about our program. We have a school counseling program that is historic. It's one of the first master's programs in the grad school of ed, so we've been around for a really long time. We're very well established in terms of the schools in the New York City area because we've had students doing their internship all over the city and in Westchester, Long Island, and New Jersey for many, many years. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what makes Fordham special and unique. So as I mentioned earlier, we really make a strong effort to keep class sizes small. And the way that works out is that we look at the class enrollments once people register and try to even out the classes so that we have small classes. And the reason we do this is because we really value the interactions within the classroom. We value participation. We think that the learning that you get from your peers is absolutely essential and is as important as what is offered through the lecture and readings. We try to develop a community among students so that students come and they help each other and they form study groups and they collaborate. There's a lot of group projects that you'll be engaged in, and so you do get to know the other students in the program really well. We think that's really valuable and important because you're future colleagues and you guys can help each other in terms of job searches and professional development after graduation. Our program is very committed to multicultural counseling and training in that area and developing students' multicultural competency. I think that's something that we really value. And it's not just in the one required multicultural counseling course. So all the faculty are deeply committed to helping individuals develop their competency in working with cross-cultural students and students from diverse backgrounds. And it's a major commitment of ours, and so it would be integrated in all of the courses. You will see a lot of significance placed on how to work with students from different cultures and different backgrounds, how to be a leader within your school in terms of diversity efforts. In addition, I think Linda mentioned this earlier, is our commitment to social justice, and that is not only the research that we do, but it's integrated in the kind of teaching that we do. It's integrated in the types of classroom environments we hope to create. Students, I think, generally feel really accepted in the program and feel a great sense of belongingness, and I think that's in part because the faculty spend a lot of time trying to create that environment, and I think it is also because of the kind of students that we attract.
They're looking for smaller class size. They're looking for opportunities to work with faculty. They're looking for having that opportunity to be in an environment that is not competitive.
So I think that we are encouraging students to be as competitive for themselves, but not cutthroat with each other.
Right.
And so we want you to grow, and we're going to challenge you and support you, but we're not trying to create an environment where students are cutthroat with each other because, first of all, we are in the helping profession. We shouldn't be that way. I think, what kind of environment are we setting up if what kind of example are we setting up if that's the environment we create? We aim to have a class of about 20 to 25 each year. But we try to keep our classes really small, so we don't really take in too many more than that. The program is a 60-credit program that is approved by the state of New York that leads to certification as a school counselor. And the program, you can begin either in the summer or in the fall, and if you go full-time, you can complete it in 2 years, which would include taking some classes in one of the summer sessions. The first year, most of the courses are designed in a way to maximize your practice in the basic counseling skills and counseling skills associated with the profession. And you'll take them back to back, and usually they're called the module courses. You have to take all of those before you're eligible for your field experience, which is in a K-12 setting. So for instance, the first required class that's a prerequisite for your other classes is the Introduction to Counseling, and that is associated with a pre-prac course. So in the first session, which is a 3-credit course, you learn about sort of an introduction to the school counseling profession, the comprehensive school counseling model, and then in the second class, you practice basic counseling skills. That's one of the modules. We also have a theories module, a group counseling module, and a career counseling module. And you would take all of these classes before you go on to field experience or internship in your second year. The internship is in an approved K-12 setting under the supervision of a certified school counselor. And during that year, that's in your second year, you would do that in the fall semester and the spring semester, and you'd also register for a field experience class. Some of the other classes that you would be taking include family counseling, program development, research methods, assessment. You would also take a class in college counseling where you would learn software programs like Naviance, which are really, really important if you're interested in college counseling at the high school level. In order to be eligible to apply for your internship, which is a year-long commitment, fall and spring, it's 480 hours in a K-12 approved setting, and it could be in a public school, it could be in a private school, but you have to be supervised by a certified school counselor. And in order to be eligible, you do have to complete a number of courses. Many of them are taught in modules, and they will prepare you for the work of a school counselor in your second year.
We also help you get your internship.
Right, so
well.
we have a full-time internship coordinator. Her name is Liz Casey, and she works with our students. She conducts orientations. She helps people with their applications to these sites. She connects people. She has really great relationships with a lot of the schools in the area where we've had former students, and so she has a really good pulse on the various internship opportunities there are in this area. So we have a bilingual school counseling, it's like an extension, and that would include 6 extra credits beyond the 60. And in addition, you would have to complete your school counseling internship in a bilingual school counseling setting. So say, New York State is, their regulations are in the process of being reviewed for and being revised. So by 2018, students who enter in grad programs, the programs have to be approved by the state. Ours is already approved by the state. Currently, although it says what a school counselor does in terms of the job title description, it doesn't say who can provide that role in the New York State guidelines. So the new New York State guidelines will say specifically that only individuals with a master's degree in school counseling can be called school counselors. So currently, especially in New York City, a lot of the school counselors in public schools do not have a master's in school counseling. But that's going to change, which will open up a lot of opportunities for individuals for jobs, because those jobs will have to be occupied by individuals with a master's in school counseling. I want to talk a little bit about faculty support and options for being on research teams. I do think that this is something that sets us apart from other schools as well, and that is that master's students have a lot of opportunities to get involved in research teams with faculty and doctoral students, and I know that's not necessarily that easy in other programs in the area. I remember interviewing a student a few years ago for the doctoral program, and when I asked her about her experience as a master's student in terms of research teams, she was telling me that she approached a few faculty and they said they don't talk to master's students when it comes to research. That's absolutely not the case here. We include master's students on our research teams regularly. I have a lot of school counseling students that are really interested in research, and each year I take a few school counseling students with me to conferences to present, which is a fabulous opportunity. They're presenting in front of seasoned school counselors and principals on issues that are really important and salient to the role of a school counselor and what's going on with students today. So it's a great perk, it's a great learning experience. It's also, if you are interested in pursuing doctoral studies, getting involved in research is really, really exciting. I'll give you an example of some of the research that we recently presented at the the Westchester Guidance Expo, which is a really large conference, and it's free for school counselors and principals and school personnel. They have it every year in October. And I gave 2 talks, and the first talk was on mindfulness and using mindfulness for K through 12 schools, and how school counselors can integrate mindfulness into their counseling practice and their counseling programs. And the other talk I gave was on senioritis, which is a major problem.
Major disease.
It's a major disease in high schools, and we had a great discussion. Both talks were extremely well attended by school counselors and principals in Westchester and Long Island. So we do different types of research. So some faculty are involved in actual intervention projects, and Dr. D'Onofrio is doing one in the schools in the South Bronx, where he's actually providing an intervention for individuals there, and it's trauma-based counseling in a group style, and so he is provides didactics around that and training around that, and there's opportunities for research around that as well. How are candidates evaluated? So we have one deadline for admissions, and after we receive all the applications, the faculty review all the applications, and we score the applications based on the personal essay, the undergraduate transcript, and the letters of recommendation, and they're all weighted very equally, and we put in a score, and then we review all the applicants and sort of discuss their different applications, the different levels, and then we make a decision. There is no interview for the master's in school counseling. So this year, we do not require the GRE. That's a question that many students have. Is the GRE required for admissions into the master's program in school counseling? We do not currently require that, although the state of New York is considering making that sort of increasing the number of grad schools that require some sort of standardized admissions test upon admission into a master's program. So we're contemplating making that change in the upcoming years, but currently that is not a requirement. We look at undergraduate transcripts and previous experiences in counseling, which you can document either through your resume or through your personal essay, and letters of recommendation. Those are what we require. I want to talk a little bit about full-time versus part-time. We do have a part-time option, and so students can begin the program part-time, and they can take 1 to 2 classes each semester. You can take classes over the summer. We have 2 summer sessions. Students who are enrolled part-time obviously wouldn't be able to complete the program in 2 years, but it takes usually between 3 and 4 years depending on how part-time you decide to go. Full-time, in order to graduate in 2 years, you really do have to take a full-time load, which is between 4 and 5 classes plus a summer session.
with the part-time option, you have to be taking at least 6 credits a term in order to qualify for financial aid, whether it is federal Stafford loans or whether it is our school-based aid. So you will apply by February 1st, and then the decisions usually go out about mid-March. And then we will give you about 30 days to make your decision. And then we will send you something. If you decide that you want to come here and you pay your deposit, we will ask you if you would like to get started in summer. So that is an option for you. You don't have to wait until fall. And you would come in summer. You could come, our summer term has 2 sessions. Session 1 starts right after our graduation, which is usually the 3rd weekend in May. So you'd start right on that Monday would be the first day of classes. And summer sessions are shorter, so they're going to be longer in time for classes and maybe more than 1 night a week. And then you can go summer session 2. So for a total of credits for summer term, you can do 12 credits, only 6 per term. Per session, excuse me. And that way you would have a leg up on your coursework for the fall. And what we hear from a lot of our students is that they like that they chose that option because they were able to take fewer classes when they were doing their internship. And
some people are contemplating grad programs, and maybe you're thinking about school counseling, but maybe you're also thinking about something else. So if you're not quite sure this is your pathway, then you can take classes as a non-matriculated student, and you can take up to 12 credits with us. You would have to meet with one of us, one of the faculty, before classes begin. We have non-matriculation registration days, which are usually 2 days before classes begin. And you can meet with a faculty member in the counseling department, and we would review your transcript and kind of see, what courses would be a good fit for you to get to know whether this is the program that you want to be in, or this is the field you would be interested in, and you can kind of try it out.
right.
Do many alumni stay in New York City after completing? I would say the majority stay in the New York City area. I'm not sure if all stay in New York City. I know a lot of my students end up in Long Island or Westchester or New Jersey. I would say probably a little over half stay in New York City or in the boroughs. Mm-hmm.
Many of our students are already from the New York metropolitan, the tri-state area, but we do have many that do apply to the New York City Department of Ed and some of the environs to New York City as well.
I wanted to just mention a little bit about where some of our students end up. I try really hard. Well, given that we have a small class, it's much easier. And now with LinkedIn and Facebook, I've been able to keep in touch with a lot of our alums, and I've even been able to visit some of them. I recently, this is just a coincidence, but I recently went to visit a student who, my first year teaching here, he took my ethics class, but now he's the director of guidance at the high school in the town that I live in. Crazy, right?
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that he was there because, we had been keeping in touch because, we have small classes, we keep in touch with our alums, and, when they change jobs, they let us know, and if there's job openings, they let us know, and they want our students all the time. So we've been in touch. So I just had lunch with him,
Mm-hmm.
and we're talking about collaborating and presenting in the future. He's dying to have Fordham students in for internship, and he would love to hire Fordham students because he really believes in the program. So that's another great thing about going to a school that's on the smaller side is you get that really
Right.
strong connection with the faculty. And also with other students who really let each other know about job opportunities.
Right, and we do have a career counselor
Oh, that's a
who
good thing to talk about, yeah.
is most of her work is dedicated to the Graduate School of Education, and she's an alum of our mental health counseling program. So she really tracks our students and has built quite a network, which that really is the most helpful way for job hunting purposes. Is the building that network. And